Hi. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Lindsay Ferguson. I'm the Director of Strategic Engagement for America Saves, and I'm really excited because today we have not one, but two AFCs joining us. We have Alicia Blair, who is the Director of Military Saves, and our special guest, Ms. Shay Cook, who is a Financial Readiness Manager for FINRA Investor Education Foundation. So thank you both for joining us today. We're really excited.
Yay, thank you. Thank
you. So first of all, I can't believe that we're in November, but the reality is it's November, and November is Military Family Appreciation Month. And on November 11th, we also all take pause as the country celebrates Veterans Day. November is also the perfect time to think about your family's plan for retirement and saving. Alicia, Shay, and I are here to discuss the importance of saving for retirement when on the move with the military. So there is a lot of kind of barriers and challenges when it comes to saving with military, especially when you're moving around. But we're going to talk to you how you can still make that happen and still plan for life after the military and retirement for you and your family. All right, so we will kick it off to Shay. So why is it important for military families to plan for their retirement?
Well, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for the opportunity, Alicia and Lindsay. This is amazing. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Got it wrong there. But it really is important making that decision to save for retirement and an important step to start on your way to a secure and financial path. It's also important to save for short-term goals like emergency fund, purchasing a car and a vacation, but it's just as important to save for your future so you can enjoy the time in your life when your income may be less. Hopefully your expenses will be less too. Also, many may have in their mind that their military pension will cover all of their expenses when they leave the military, but only around fewer than 20% of service members actually stay long enough to retire. So it's important for the military member to talk to their family about how much time they realistically will spend in the military. Plus, with the new blended retirement system, BRS, many will receive a smaller pension than what was offered with the legacy system. So it will have to rely on many buckets of money they will have to the service members, like 401ks, TSP, IRAs, investments, and Social Security to pay for their expenses in the retirement.
Absolutely. And I would just supplement Shay's comment kind of to her point about under the blended retirement system, service members that do complete service and receive a pension, that pension is 40% compared to under the legacy where it's 50%. So it doesn't cover, a military pension will not cover retirement at the standard of living that service members are accustomed to when they're actively serving. And that also goes for the family as well. So planning ahead is really important if you want to maintain your standard of living and compensate for things like a reduction in tax breaks and perhaps higher home costs and living expenses in general.
Great, thank you both. So we talked about why it's important, which those were all valid and wonderful reasons why. So can we talk a little bit more about options for families when it comes to saving for retirement? I know you touched on a few of them, but maybe we could kind of dive in a little bit deeper there. And either Shay or Alicia, you want to kick it off? Either one, go for it.
All right, I'll go for it. There's many options for the military families to save for their retirement. But definitely their work retirement savings plans. For military members, that's the TSP, the Thrift Savings Plan. But there's also 401ks, 403bs, and 457s that, members and, the family members can use for their retirement options. And then also they can contribute to traditional and Roth individual retirement accounts. Spouses that are not working can have their sponsors contribute to those traditional and Roth IRAs on their behalf. And then self-employed spouses, which there's a lot of those out there, also have many options for retirements that include the Simplified Employee Pension, SEP, the SEP, solo 401ks, and the savings incentive pension match plan for employees, which is the simple IRA. So most of these options have tax advantages and tax breaks.
Absolutely. There's pretty much a plan out there for the veteran, or for the military family. It's really up to them to make that savings a habit, to make it part of their budget, that they're going to pay themselves first, and really invest in their future, to, again, maintain that standard of living. I'd also say that the TSP is hands down one of the best deals out there when it comes to a retirement system, with extremely low fees and life cycle based plans that are quite easy to manage and professionally managed through the Thrift Savings Plan program. So can't speak highly enough about that, and starting that now, while you're currently serving, and getting in that savings habit is huge. I'd also say that military spouses really need to remember that retirement from the military is also retirement for them, and investing in their future is just as important. And investing may also mean more than dollars and cents. It might mean investing in themselves personally and stopping and saying, our military family is finally setting down roots. What do I want to do? What do I want to do with my career and my education? When that service member is transitioning out, that is the perfect time for the spouse to really think about their future as well.
That's great. Yeah, great.
No, those are great points. Okay, well, again, just echo that. That was really great and great points. And, what is some advice or suggestions on how a family can actually figure out how much they need to save for retirement? We all know we need it. We know it's important. But sometimes thinking about it can be a little overwhelming. So how should somebody approach that to figure out how much they need to save for retirement?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and jump in first, Shay. I guess when I was looking at this question too, Lindsay, I think sometimes it's nice to have an objective point of view. And I do want to call out that personal financial counseling is available on virtually every installation around the world for service members and their families. And if you find that budgeting and finding that money in your monthly budget is difficult, meeting with a personal financial counselor is a great way to have a different set of eyes looking over your financial situation and helping you come up with some creative solutions to find that money to save, because everyone can save.
Totally agree. That's awesome. Yeah, and I would add that the FINRA Foundation, saveandinvest.org website, we have a great retirement calculator. I know, as you know, I'm planning for my retirement for me and my husband. Retirement calculators are very important to help, specifically help you figure out how to estimate your retirement income in today's dollars, estimate your retirement expenses, and then your income, and then calculate those gaps between your retirement income and your expenses, subtracting those two, and adjusting your savings to accommodate those gaps is very important. So the retirement calculator and saveandinvest.org is great as well. A great resource.
I need to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Check that one out for myself.
For sure.
So, I think those are great ideas as to kind of how to figure out what you may need to retire. But I think the reality is sometimes the thought of saving, again, is overwhelming. And sometimes we just think, I don't know if I can actually do it. I don't know if I have the extra wiggle room in my paycheck every month to put something away for my future, like retirement. What can somebody do, specifically a military family, do if that may be the scenario within their home?
Well, like Alicia said, is really meet with their financial counselor, the personal financial counselor or financial manager on their installation. There's plenty of them around. Many struggle with paying bills and meeting their basic saving goals. So a financial counselor can help them assist with coming up with a practical spending plan and a retirement plan. And sometimes that may mean cutting back on expenses or making more money or income.
Absolutely. That spending plan, I know that's a sexier term than budget. So the spending plan is definitely, that is the answer. Yes. And it sometimes takes a little bit of work to arrive at a realistic spending plan. But once you get there, that spending plan will reveal what areas you probably could cut from in order to find a little bit more money to save towards your retirement goals. And again, that personal financial counselor, like Shay said, can help you create a realistic spending plan to help you achieve those goals. I'm also a big advocate of putting yourself down as a line item on your budget. I am going to save $25 or however much per month towards my retirement goals, pay to the order of Alicia Blair or whatever the household retirement, fund would be. Make yourself a priority by paying yourself first.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy that a lot of people tend to forget, that you're just, you are very important, and obviously your future is even more important, and it comes really quick.
Very quick.
So, we've talked about why it's important, some ideas on how to get started, but specifically for service members, the blended retirement system is a new retirement system that's available for military service members. And those who are eligible, they have to decide if they are going to stay in the legacy retirement system or opt into the blended retirement system by the end of this year, December 31st, 2018. What should eligible service members do to make that decision? So it's kind of it's an either or decision that's being presented to thousands of service members. What do they need to do to make that decision?
Well, my phrase always is educate, educate, educate. Everyone, service members and their spouses, need to educate themselves on the options available. This is a big decision they have to make. So education is the key to making an informed decision. Also, plus, again, as we'll repeat a couple times today, is talk to your personal financial manager and your counselor. They can help you. If you're still struggling with that decision, they can't make that decision for you, but they can educate you to help you make that very big decision.
Absolutely. So new service members that came in after January 1 of this year, they're all going to be in the blended retirement system. Right. And those folks and their spouses, they also need to educate themselves on how to optimize the blended retirement system. Exactly. And then the folks that are between that 1 to 12 year window, those eligible service members have until December 31st, the clock is ticking, to make that decision, like Shay said, about whether they're going to stay in the legacy program or whether they're going to opt into the blended retirement system. And I would like to reference 5 very simple steps that Military Saves created to help service members kind of think about this whole big financial decision. So first, confirm your eligibility. 2, go ahead and use that blended retirement system opt-in course that is mandatory. 3, as Shay said, educate, educate, educate. 4, schedule an appointment with your personal financial manager or counselor to look at all of your options and to make sure that you understand what your options are. And then 5, make your decision by December 31st. We're kind of simplifying it as much as possible because it's a big decision and there's a lot to it, but 5 steps to make your decision.
And what happens if somebody doesn't make a decision by December 31st?
They're left in the legacy system. So, yep. And they can't, no take backs, as we said back in the day. You can't go back, oh, well, I forgot, or there was the holidays, or my family. Right. No, unfortunately, January 1st, you haven't made that decision. You're in a legacy system.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Just want to emphasize that, you do have to make some type of decision or it's going to be made for you.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Pretty much.
Well, that's great. And, these are, I think, things that sometimes people don't like to really sit down and have to think about. But I think with that deadline, it's time. You've got 2 months to really, almost 2 months to make that decision. So if you haven't started thinking about it, think about it now.
That's right.
Another thing that we got to start thinking about is the holidays.
Hey.
As we all kind of sat here and realized today that it is November, and next thing you know, it is Christmas and Thanksgiving, which those are fun and exciting things to do with your family and friends and enjoy the time off and celebrate your loved ones. But we got to remember that retirement is still going to happen. And what are some things that we can do to make sure that that concept of putting away a little something for your future doesn't get lost in the fun and exciting things of the holiday season and the hustle and bustle of, you know, spoiling your loved ones and celebrating the season of giving.
Yeah, with my 3-word phrases that I always use, save, save, save. So definitely they hopefully have already saved for the upcoming holiday bustle. And I'm a huge advocate in opening club accounts at your financial institution to set up automatic transfers and or allotments to these accounts. I mean, it's such a great feeling to have when you have money put away for holiday gifts and not having to use the money in your current paycheck. And also, don't pull out of these tax sheltered accounts and your retirement accounts. You know, leave those alone. Hopefully you have savings, and do not use credit cards to pay for holiday gifts and parties if you can't pay it back right away. I mean, obviously there's interest attached to those, so, you know, definitely save, save, save.
Absolutely. Do not raid your retirement fund account.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is not a gift that will keep on giving.
Yeah, exactly.
It will not, because you miss out on that compound interest, and it's just a bad idea. It sets you up for failure. So definitely stay away from that. I would also say to manage expectations. I really think that you should spend money on experiences and not on gifts. We've had a lot of success with that in our family, and it's something we try to instill in our children, to make sure that the gifts that are given are really heartfelt and meaningful, and to manage expectations with the extended family members that perhaps you're not going to purchase for everyone. Maybe you'll do, you know, a fun swap so you don't have to buy for every single person. And that can allow you to really stay within a budget so you're not going overboard and going into debt and taking out your credit card statement in January and going, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay this off and not be charged interest?
Yeah.
It's just a bad way to start the new year.
Really is. And I've been there. I'm guilty. I have family members that have done that. And yeah, and January comes around, you're like, oh my goodness, I was trying to impress everybody and buy everybody gifts. You know, you have a family of 30 or 40 people and you're trying to buy everybody gifts. It's like, okay, this is not right. You know, so.
Right. And having younger children too, there were a couple years where we would purchase more gifts. And by 2 or 3 weeks later, those gifts are just sitting around. They're not being played with anymore.
Exactly.
Now we kind of focus on the gifts that the kids really want and the ones that, you know, they really, really ask Santa for. And those are the ones that are focused on.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's setting expectations is a lesson I have to teach myself every single year. So if you're out there listening and it's something you have to remind yourself of, just do it. It works, because I'm totally the one that feels bad. Oh, I need to do X, Y, and Z. But no, saying no is okay sometimes. And there are other ways to celebrate your loved ones during the holiday versus going into debt or accruing interest.
Yes.
All right. Well, these are great things. And I'm really enjoying the conversation. And I think it's a lot of things for somebody to sit down and think about, especially myself, when it comes to retirement. So are there any resources or information that's out there that people could kind of take advantage of and start researching today if they're really excited about retirement and they want to start putting pen to paper? Where do they go first? Like, what kind of resources are out there for people to get this information that we just shared this afternoon?
Well, I would definitely plug FINRA Foundation, saveandinvest.org. I mean, again, we have the great retirement calculator, but we have many other retirement resources and tools, especially, again, the retirement calculator. And then visit your local family center. They have help through the financial counselor to help you make those decisions. And then contact Military One Source or CG Support if you're Coast Guard to speak to a personal financial counselor or a money coach.
Absolutely. And I will definitely call out saveandinvest.org has a specific section geared towards military families, which has helpful tips and tools for you to look at your retirement and the unique challenges that military families have when saving for retirement. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't call out militarysaves.org. So if you're a military family that is kind of struggling to really set their savings goals and wants to set retirement as a savings goal, you can do that by taking the Military Saves Pledge. And then we will send you regular communications to help you stay on track with your savings goal. Also, we do offer some fantastic blogs, some of which have been written by the FINRA Foundation. So definitely check those out for the latest in savings news. As well, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and now Instagram. If you're looking for that daily motivation to keep you up with your savings goals, we're there for you. We're like your personal financial coach.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of Military Saves, Shay, we really appreciate you coming to the table this afternoon and sharing your expertise. And Alicia, you obviously did a great job as well, but we really want to honor and thank our special guest in Shay from the FINRA Investor Education Foundation.
Thank you. This was amazing.
It was a lot of fun, and we appreciated the insight from you. And then Alicia, thank you so much for sharing all those wonderful tips and tools and information. And then for those of you who are viewing, we really hope that you gained a lot from this as well, and that you join us for our next conversation, which is going to be about goal setting. So, you know, we're going through the holidays, and maybe you kind of did kink up your budget a little bit. Maybe it's time to reassess and start setting some new goals. So we hope to see you back. And until then, remember to set a goal, make a plan, and save automatically. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.